Hello guys, and welcome to another installment of A Computers and Technology. Today we're going to be taking a look at this ORICO USB 3.0 2.5-inch toolless hard drive enclosure. Now I am really glad that ORICO sent this over because I was in need of a 2.5-inch external drive enclosure that I could install live operating systems on to test PCs out with. So I plan to throw a solid state drive in here and install live OSs such as Linux or Windows and then run them directly off this drive to test out older hardware with. In some of the videos like the garage sale find videos and eBay find videos. So that's what I'm going to use this for. So in today's review, I'm going to unbox the product. We'll take a look at the quality, see how well the execution of the toolless design is. Then I'll throw a solid state drive in here. We'll see what the speeds look like while reading and writing to the drive through the drive enclosure. And then that's going to be about it for this video. So let's get started and unbox this ORICO drive enclosure. As you can see, I have the black variant, but it also comes in blue, red, silver, and yellow. By the way, the link for this drive enclosure will be in the description if you want to check it out. As you can see, it's this ORICO model 2588 US3 2.5-inch SATA USB hard drive enclosure. And if you guys really want to read the rest, you can if you switch the video to 1080p. Taking a look at the back, you can see that there's really nothing much there on the top. It has all of the same stuff that I just read off to you guys, and on the bottom, it's the same story. If we take this cover off, you can see that on the top of the box, it says ORICO leading technology, and that's it. And then on the back, it has the website or the URL for their website. So I'm just going to go ahead and open the box up. You can see our drive enclosure right here wrapped up in plastic. Alright, so that didn't come out as cleanly as I wanted it to. I'm probably going to have to cut that because it was a bit of a struggle. But you can see the ORICO hard drive enclosure right here. By the way, I didn't say the price of this thing. This thing is $9.99 on Amazon. And for $9, it doesn't feel too bad. First impressions are pretty good. By the way, it is all plastic. I do not see or feel any metal on this thing. Without a drive in it, there is a slight little bend to it, but it's definitely not too bad. And we'll check out everything else in just a second after I remove all the peripherals from the box. And I think there should just be a USB cable. You can see the USB cable right here. Just going to take that twist tie off. There you go. So the connector for the drive enclosure is on this side. And then we have our USB plug on this side. And then I think this might be a little spacer for the drive. I'm not really sure. We'll have to open up the drive enclosure first to actually figure out what that piece is for. We have our user manual right here. I don't think we should have to use this. Everything should be pretty straightforward. And then right here is a customer service card. So that is it as far as the contents go. I'm going to take a couple seconds and check out this drive enclosure, and then I will get back to you guys. I've been playing around with this drive enclosure for the past 15 minutes, and so far I am really liking it. I still feel the same way about quality. It is a bit bendy and it is all plastic. Definitely nothing horrific though, and it will provide some adequate protection to your drive in case of a fall. Right now I'm going to show you guys how to install a 2.5-inch drive. I'm really loving the toolless design of this case. It's super easy to quickly swap out a drive and put a new one in. So all you have to do is open up this back panel. You're just going to pop it back. There we go. Pull it off. Going to line up the contacts for our drive. Just slide it in. And the drive is in and secure. Just going to take that top, slide it back on, and we are good to go. Now, I have reviewed drive enclosures in the past where the internal drive wouldn't really be secure inside the casing, and when you flap it around like this, the drive would actually slap against the walls of the case. Well, this one doesn't really suffer from that problem. I have it right up to the mic, and you can't really hear anything, but it does suffer from a similar problem. If you give it a couple taps on the bottom like this, just knock it down there 5, and if we open this up, you can see that the drive has actually come unseated from that SATA connector, and it will no longer be recognized when you plug it into your USB port. If I give it a little push right here, you can see that actually will reseat itself. There you go. So that is something to note. If you use enough force, you actually can unseat the drive from that SATA connector when the drive enclosure is closed. So maybe that's what this pad is for. I'm going to mess around for a little bit and see if I can't get it not to do that. Applying the thicker pad to the inside of the case did help a little bit, but I was still able to unseat the drive with an excessive amount of force. Now, this is really an extreme situation because I'm taking this thing and just banging it on the table. The only time that that kind of force is really going to be applied to this drive drive enclosure is if you drop it. And if you do drop it, the Toolless design makes it so easy to gain access to the drive. All you have to do is open it up, push the drive back into reseat it, and you're good to go again. So this is definitely something to note, but it's not a critical drawback in my opinion. And before we hook this up to see what it can do, let's just take a closer look at the outside of the enclosure. As you can see, the overall design is pretty simplistic. We have the ORICO logo right here. And if we look to the side, you can see a micro B port right here and our LED indication light. It turns blue when it's in standby mode, and it turns red when it is being written to or read from. As far as the USB cable is concerned, quality feels good, and I think it's going to last for a long time. There's two other things I want to mention right now. One is that this drive enclosure supports USB attached SCSI, and the second thing is that this drive enclosure is capable of accepting up to 2 terabyte SATA 2.5-inch hard drives. Now, I've used the drive with Windows 7 and Xubuntu 16.04, and with both of those operating systems, it was plug and play. I have my Asus G75 VW out right here as a quad-core Intel i7, 12 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM in it, and we are about to check out what kind of speeds we get out of this ORICO drive enclosure. I have already benchmarked the Silicon Power 120 gigabyte solid state drive that's inside this drive enclosure, and I will throw up the results right here. Keeping in mind the limitations of USB 3, let's go ahead and run a crystal disk benchmark on this drive enclosure. So performance isn't mind-blowing or anything. I believe the numbers really speak for themselves here. It's not going to be able to saturate the USB 3.0 interface, but for a budget drive enclosure, I mean, these speeds are decent. They're not too bad at all. There's one last thing I would like to touch on before I end this little review. Temperatures don't get too bad, nothing out of the normal. It does get a little bit warm to the touch, but overall they hover around 80 to 85 degrees. So that's going to be about it for this review. Overall, I felt like this was a pretty decent 2.5-inch Toolless drive enclosure. I am really loving the Toolless aspect of this. It is just so easy to pop a drive out and put a new one in. That is my favorite part to this drive enclosure, is how easy it is to swap out drives. So once again, really liking this drive enclosure so far. I will give you guys a couple updates in the comments section. It does have a couple drawbacks, and I am going to contact Eileen at ORICO about the drive slipping problem, the one where if you tap it hard enough, it will come unseated. So I'm going to contact them and see what they have to say about that. That's going to be about it for this review. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can go ahead and post a comment in the comment section. If you like this video, don't forget to drop a like on this video. If you didn't like this video, please tell me why. And of course, do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Once again, the link for this thing will be in the description. If you want to support me, you can use my Amazon or eBay affiliate links. Don't forget to check out my Patreon, and also do not forget to check out the Facebook page. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next installment of A Computers and Technology.